Hi everyone, this is Luke and I'm back in the US now after a really unforgettable tour through Australia and New Zealand and Samoa in the Pacific, all the way to the Middle East, to Kuwait and Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates. And I'm here now in the beautiful countryside of Maine. And I've come here to this very special place, which I'm sure some of you will recognize. This is Green Acre. And I've come here really to prepare myself for a new project that I'm about to embark on and which I'd like to tell you a little bit about. So, with the bicentenary period now over, I really feel like a new phase is beginning. New ideas are coming and things are changing, and I'd love to share with you a little vision that I have for what I'm going to be working on over the next couple of years. So, next year, 2021, is going to be yet another very historic year for the Baha'i community, because 2021 will mark the 100th anniversary of the passing of Abdul-Baha, who was the son of Bahá'u'lláh and who was the third of the three central figures of the Baha'i faith, the first two of course being Bahá'u'lláh and the Bab. And you know, last year, throughout 2019, I really found that my thoughts were very directly focused with a kind of a curiosity to learn more about the Bab and his story. I'm sure many of you experienced this as well. And I'm sure that in 2021, our thoughts will very naturally lean towards Abdul-Baha, not only in relation to the anniversary of his passing, but I think that 2021 will really be a very special time to reflect on the whole life and legacy of Abdul-Baha, and particularly the relevance of that legacy to the state of the world today. Because whereas the Bab was the person who prepared the way for Baha'u'llah's teachings to come into the world, Abdul-Baha was the person who then carried on his father's work after him all the way into the 20th century. And I really think that with the passing of time, the work of Abdul-Baha becomes not less relevant, but actually increasingly relevant. And the ways in which he addressed certain issues that were arising at the time can offer helpful examples of how we might address certain issues arising in the world today. And like his father, like Bahá'u'lláh, like the Bab as well, Abdul-Baha left behind this enormous heritage of writings, of books and poems and prayers, and thousands upon thousands of letters that he wrote to different people and groups of people around the world. And his writings they are very universal in scope. They address certain fundamental questions about what it means to be human. They address questions about the arts and the sciences and economics and methods of education and the whole realm of human development. And I think that there is an accessibility to the writings of Abdul-Baha that can actually make them of like immediate benefit to people of any walk of life. And so what I would like to do next is make a new album based on the writings of Abdul-Baha in honor of the centenary of his passing. And so that work really begins now. Over the coming year, I'm going to be working on new songs, setting Abdul-Baha's words to music, arranging them, recording them, and ultimately preparing them for release in 2021. And so I would love for you to be a part of that with me, and one way to be a part of it is to support it through my Patreon page at patreon.com/lukeslott. If you're unfamiliar with Patreon, it is a website that enables you to become a patron of the arts by supporting the ongoing work of artists of your choice. And by becoming a patron in that way, you really become a very practical and integral part in bringing this new album into existence, and these new songs. So if you would like to be a part of it in that way, you can support my work through patreon.com. But if you're not in a position to support the work in that way, please don't worry. There are tons of ways that you can be a part of this. You can share my music, you can share my videos, you can have conversations about this project and this great historic occasion with your friends. And if you're inclined towards prayer, you can say a prayer for the project. I really do believe that there is a great power in focused, intentional goodwill. Whether we call that prayer or whatever we call that, I think that that kind of intentional goodwill can only have a good effect in one way or another. So in whatever way works for you, I would love you to join me in this new project in honor of Abdul-Baha. So one other thing I wanted to mention was that before all that happens, I'm going to release a new song on March 1st, which is the beginning of the Baha'i fast this year, which is a time of great reflection and meditation on life and spiritual rejuvenation. And so I'm going to release one new song which features many of the musicians that played and worked on Gate of Heaven and Year of the Nightingale, and it's based on a very famous passage of writing by Bahá'u'lláh called Blessed is the Spot. And so I'm going to release this new song on March 1st, so keep your ears open for it. And in the meantime, I hope that you'll be a part of this new project with me in whatever way works for you, as we enter this new phase of preparation for the centenary of the passing of Abdul-Baha, who, as many of you will know, after having lived almost his entire life as a prisoner of conscience in the Middle East, came here to Greenacre and walked these gardens. And so I'm gonna go and have a little walk and see if I can soak up some inspiration for the new album. So thank you for watching, thank you for supporting, thank you for being a part of this with me. It is the greatest privilege for me to be a part of it with you, and I look forward to updating you soon. And in the meantime, look out for Blessed is the Spot on March 1st. Bye for now.